It's 6:01, and I call this regular school board meeting to order. It's February the 10th, 2020, 6:01 p.m. Dr. Salazar, Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Our members of the board, this evening we have students from Lopez Riggins and Olmito Elementary here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, we're going to call to the lectern the proud principals of these campuses, beginning with Mr. Oscar de la Rosa. Mr. D.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Salazar, public audience. It's my pleasure to introduce Aaron Saldana. Aaron is a fifth grade student at Lopez Riggins Elementary. His parents are Lydia Coronado and Frank Saldana. He's currently Lopez Riggins Student Council Vice President and an A Honor Roll student. Aaron and his family moved to Los Fresnos from San Antonio 3 years ago and really enjoys living in Los Fresnos. Aaron is highly athletic. He's currently playing football with the Brownsville Cowboys under the Texas Youth Football Association, and he's also playing basketball with the Boys and Girls Club. Aaron is very social and outgoing and is a true leader among his peers. After graduation, Aaron hopes to obtain a football scholarship at Oklahoma State University with the goal of one day becoming a professional football player. His dream is to be drafted by Kansas City Chiefs. If he is not drafted by an NFL team, he plans to make a career as a welder. Aaron Saldana. Next, we have Marcela Vega. Marcela is 10 years old and is a fifth grader at Lopez Riggins Elementary. She's the daughter of Armando and Cecilia Vega and lives in Los Fresnos. She's an A Honor Roll student and is an active member of the robotics team, the Wranglerettes dance team, 2-year representative for SHAC committee, and volunteered as a musical director for the school plays. She has been a Girl Scout for 6 years, has earned her Bronze Award, and is actively involved in community projects and organizations. Every year she volunteers to ring the bell for the Salvation Army and volunteers at the Isabel Garcia Animal Shelter. During her spare time, she plays basketball with the Boys and Girls Club, continues to dance ballet, jazz, hip-hop, tap, and acro with the Limelight Dance Academy since kinder, and loves to swim. One day, Marcela hopes to attend Texas A&M University or UTSA. She hopes to become a doctor or work in the medical field. Marcela Vega.
Good evening. My name is Rosemary Ladd. I'm proud principal of Olmito Elementary. Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Salazar. Today I present to you two of our top students at Olmito Elementary. We begin with Macaria Gonzalez. Macaria is the daughter of Emmanuel Gonzalez and Edna Martinez. She's a first grade student in Ms. Perez's class. She loves to read and always strives to get good grades at school. Macaria's love for reading has earned her bragging rights for top reader in the entire grade level. On her free time, she enjoys playing with friends and listening to music. When asked what she wants to be when she grows up, she said a dentist because she wants to help boys and girls have healthy teeth. Macaria Gonzalez. Passionate, respectful, sweet is how Ms. Garcia described one of her top students. Kylan Lay, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Lay, is a fourth grade A Honor Roll student in Ms. Jennifer Garcia's class. Kylan is a model student that is passionate about achieving her academic goals at school. Her favorite subject is reading. During her leisure time, Kylan enjoys going to gymnastics and reading her books. When she grows up, she plans to attend Harvard University and become an author. And if she does not get into Harvard, she will be attending Columbia University. Kylan Lay.
Ladies and gentlemen, these children are here to help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Will the parents of these beautiful children please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. Mr. Trevino, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, Mr. Leonel Garza,
Present.
Mrs. Sandra Garcia.
Present.
I am here. Mr. Ruben Trevino, Mr. Martin Castillo,
Present.
Mr. Ray Farias,
Present.
Mr. Jesus Amaya,
Present.
Ms. Leticia Quintero is not with us tonight, Dr. Gonzalo Salazar,
Present.
Mrs. Elizabeth Neely.
Present.
Item 5, district recognitions. Dr. Salazar.
Mr. Garza and members of the board, each year we set time aside a couple times out of the year to acknowledge or recognize, to celebrate with teachers who have attained advanced degrees to the benefit of our students. This evening we call on our administrators to introduce us to those teachers and tell us about the degrees and their accomplishments. We begin this evening with our Executive Director for Academics, Mrs. Valerie Landry.
Mr. President, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar, it is my honor tonight to stand before you and introduce a member of our team out of the Office of Academics. Mrs. Nydia Benavides has received her master's degree in curriculum and instruction. She began with the district in 2002 as a teacher at Palmer Locksaw Elementary. She later moved to Olmito Elementary, where she served as a 5th grade teacher, and eventually she moved to the Office of Academics, where she serves as our elementary math strategist. It has been my honor to work with Ms. Nydia Benavides for almost all of her career. There's a year or two that we were separated as we moved campuses around, but she is a great asset to our district, and I am pleased to present this on behalf of the board.
Mr. Garza, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Tessa Cepeda. Ms. Cepeda this past December completed her master's degree in career and technical education from Concordia University. Currently, Ms. Cepeda is in her 10th year at Los Fresnos High School and is an integral part of our high school staff, where she teaches forensic science and is a co-sponsor of our state-bound Falcon Law team. Ms. Cepeda is excellent at building and sustaining relationships with students and staff. Quite often when I ask students what their favorite class is, one of the most popular answers is forensic science with Ms. Cepeda. Once again, congratulations, Tessa. Los Fresnos High School is extremely proud of your accomplishment.
Just for the record, Ms. Leti Quintero has joined us for the meeting.
Mr. Garza, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. I am Anis Garza, proud principal of Liberty Memorial Middle School. I'm here to introduce to you Ms. Gabriela Gabby Trejo. She is a 6th grade teacher at Liberty Memorial Middle School. As a teacher, Gabby shows that she understands and really cares about her students. Ms. Trejo is not afraid to try something new that will challenge her students. She's a UIL academic coach for solo acting and the sponsor of our yearbook. You will find Ms. Trejo at every extracurricular event. Gabby received her bachelor's degree from Texas A&M Kingsville, and she recently graduated with her master's in educational leadership from Lamar University. Gabby aspires to be a strong, effective leader. She genuinely wants to make a difference in the lives of children, and she hopes to have a positive impact as a school leader on a campus one day. Congratulations, Gabby.
Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Salazar, I'm very proud to present that we have two teachers from LFU that have receiving their masters in December. Our first one is Mr. Armando Leon, and he received his master's in educational administration. I don't know why he would want to do that, but we're very proud that he is. And I know that being in his classroom, he's going to do an outstanding job with that one day. He is currently a 9th grade Algebra 1 teacher, and he gets some of our roughest students, and he's able to turn them around and get them moving in the right direction. And we're very proud to present this to Mr. Armando Leon. And our second recipient is Mrs. Erica Danielle Martinez. She has received her master's in anatomy, and she received a master's in science in anatomy and physiology from the New York Chiropractic College. She actually got to spend a week in New York getting all of her certifications and everything taken care of. So we're very proud. She is one of our health science teachers and does an amazing job with all of her students. Every Monday morning I go in there and check to make sure they're doing great. And so I'd like to present this to Erica Danielle Martinez.
Will the spouses, relatives, friends please stand and be recognized?
Mr. Garza, 5 of the 8 teachers were able to join us tonight. I'd like to point out each time we celebrate this that over 33% of our teachers now hold advanced degrees. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7, public audience. We have one person that has that was a big mistake. Let's back it up a little bit. Getting ahead of myself. Let's go to item 6. District presentations, 2020 census. Dr. Salazar.
Mr. Garza, Board, this evening we present to you information about our participation and collaboration with the City of Los Fresnos and other organizations for the 2020 census. And at this time I'd like to introduce Mrs. Ada Amaro Cibaja, Executive Director for Support Services. Mrs. Amaro.
Thank you, Dr. Salazar. Good evening, Board President, members of the Board, and Dr. Salazar. As you are very well aware of, every 10 years the U.S. conducts a population survey, better known as census count. And the census count is what drives over $675 billion that impacts our community, our state, and our school district. Our school district, as Dr. Salazar mentioned, has joined forces with the City of Los Fresnos and the Cameron County officials to promote the value of the census count. And this evening, we have Mrs. Sylvia Garza Perez, the Cameron County Clerk, who is going to provide some insight in regards to the U.S. Census 2020. Ms. Garza?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Board of Directors, Dr. Salazar. It's good to see you. I want to thank you for allowing us to come and talk to you this morning, but first of all, I want to congratulate you for having such a great team. Ms. Amaro and her team have been very, very instrumental in getting your school district involved. Today I have with me Joshua Gonzalez with Commissioner Reese's office, Diego Hernandez from the District Clerk's office, Judge Luis Sorolla, who are part of the Complete Count Committee, and Mr. Manuel Abrigo, who's also part of our Complete Count Committee. They're here to pass out some packets with some information. Today on the presentation, I'm going to talk to you about some really important aspects of the census and bring some more detailed information. 2 weeks ago, I was here with the parent team, and we presented to about 60, almost 65 parents about the census and got them to understand the importance of getting their children counted and getting the families counted in this area. We can go ahead and proceed with the presentation. The census will officially start on March the 12th, and there's a lot of different components to this as I've been learning. A year ago, I was appointed by Commissioner's Court and the county judge to lead this for the entire county. Since then, I've visited 17 municipalities and have met with every mayor, every city commissioner of every community in Cameron County. And since then, have been meeting with all school board members. I got one more school district to do, and then I'm done with the school districts. But I've been very diligently devoting a lot of my time, on top of doing my full-time job as your county clerk, to get people to understand the importance of this. March 12th we start. April 1st is the official census day. We have exactly till July 31st to make sure everybody in the Rio Grande Valley gets counted. We were undercounted, extremely undercounted in 2010. Let me tell you the way it's going to impact this area. If someone did the census the last time, you're going to get a packet in the mail. If you didn't complete the census, you're going to get a notification saying the census has started. What is different about the census is that you're going to have an opportunity, if you did not participate the last time, to go online, or you can call in and get yourself counted. Very important for those families that do not have access to internet. Very important to those families that all of us have a cell phone. You're going to be able to get on there and make sure that you're counted. We can go to the next slide. It's estimated that 5% of the children under the age of 5 were not counted in 2010. Those children today are 15 years of age. That's about 1 million young children, the highest of any age group. You know, as leaders in this community and leading your school district, that those children account for a lot of your pre-K programs and a lot of the federal funding that comes into your school district. Go to the next slide. That financial impact, we receive about $1,600 per family member that does and submits a census. For a family of 6, that totals to $9,600. Over a 10-year period, that's $96,000 that we lose out if that family's not counted. Imagine how many families have 10 or more in their family. If they're not counted, that's what we're losing. In 2010, it was estimated the population in Cameron County was 407,654 people. They're saying that we're about at 430,000 right now. There's no way that in 10 years we've only grown by 20-something thousand. You know that. I believe that we're at about 500,000 people in Cameron County. If we reach that money, we become a metropolitan county, which increases our federal funding. We go to the next slide. What does this do for us? It provides us representation not only locally but nationally, which would give us an opportunity to open up more congressional seats. The distribution of $675 billion would put Cameron County at the front door of making sure that federal funding comes to this area. That federal funding goes especially to our schools, to our hospitals, things such as our fire departments, our streets, and of course to growth, growing business, and getting jobs. We can go to the next slide. Based on the information on the U.S. Census, that $675 billion, 10% of those monies are targeted for low-income schools. A public school child should receive $13,119 per year of federal funding. If we have a classroom of 10 children and only one child completes that census or his parents complete that census, that $13,000 goes down to $1,311.90. Why would we want to do that to our children when we know that our school districts are over in abundance with children? And if every child gets counted, we put ourselves up to get more federal funding for your school districts, more federal funding for your programs. And you all know that that's something that we all need, right? So I'm here tonight to ask you, like your staff has been doing, to continue that collaboration. We need to get your school districts identified as a site that will help parents fill out these forms, help parents get online, help parents get to make that phone call. And if you can target a particular campus, help us by making sure parents know I came 2 weeks ago and I went over the entire form with the parents, telling them and giving them that assurity and that comfort that there is nothing on the questionnaire that asks you whether you're a resident or a non-resident of this country. It basically asks you for your first name, your last name, your age, your date of birth, and who lives in your house. What is their age? What nationality you are, whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're yellow. That's all it asks you. If you live in the house all the time, if they're not there, do they go to college? Are they in high school? What do they do? That is basically what it does. The person that fills out that form, the first one, has to tell the story about everyone who lives in their home. My job tonight is to tell you this is very important. I've always filled it out. I didn't really know the value of it, but by God, I've got 6 grandchildren. I'm going to make sure that they are counted and that they're well represented in every school district. My job as your elected official is to make sure that I communicate this information and educate you on the importance of how we need to make sure that everyone who lives in our county, everyone who lives in our city, everyone who goes to our public schools gets counted, and that each school district receives the money that they're entitled to, because you know what? Our kids deserve a brighter future. They deserve an opportunity. And I can tell you, this county has some of the most intelligent people and some of the biggest leaders in this country. And I'm not going to sit back and not allow our county and our children to be represented and get counted. So thank you very much for being here with us. In your packets, for letting me be here, in your packets you have a map that tells you the areas that were not counted in 2010. The dark blues tell you that was about 50% of the people that did not submit a complete count. You have information, you have the questionnaire there for you to review it and kind of get familiar with it. The 2 little handouts that are there tell you the numbers that I gave up here about the $1,600 per family member in a household, the $13,119 per public school child per year. All that information is in your packet for you to review it, but the map that's there is vitally important because that's the map that indicates which areas did or did not participate in 2010. The dark blue is about almost 50% of that area that did not complete the census. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here. And since I have to report to the county judge that I did my job, is it okay if I get a picture with all of y'all in the background? Sorry. Thank you so much.
One more. Thank you, Ms. Garza. I've also prepared a packet of some of the initiatives that will be conducting throughout our school district and throughout our schools. As a school district, we're committed to assist the city of Los Fresnos and our Cameron County into making sure that everyone counts. What we will also be doing is in our weeklies, I will be providing updates on any census activity as we conduct it throughout the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Amaro.
Thank you. Now we can move to item 7, public audience. We have one person that has signed up, Patricia Valenzuela, on Family Engagement Program. I need to read the script first. Come on over to the dais, please. The next item on our agenda is the public comment period. This is the time for citizens, staff, and students to provide their comments to the board. The Texas Open Meetings Act requires that every meeting of our governmental body to be open to the public except for closed sessions as permitted by the statute. A meeting that is open to the public under the Act is one that the public is entitled to attend. However, the Act does not give the public a right to speak at such public meetings except to redress their grievances through proper channels. As a courtesy to the public, the Los Fresnos CISD Board of Trustees allows time for public comments at regular meetings of the board. Statements and questions from the audience will not be permitted during the other portions of the meeting. Only those persons who have signed up before the start of the board meeting will be allowed to speak during the public comment portion of our meeting. I also caution you that your public comments should not complain about individual school employees by name or position, or other than your own child, identify students pursuant to the Texas Government Code 551.074. The district's grievance procedures can be found in board policy. Public comments should not discuss discipline of a child or disclose the identity of a student other than your own child without permission of the student's parent pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.0821 and 551.082. As presiding officer, I am obligated to determine whether a person addressing the board has attempted to administratively resolve any complaints or grievances about which they want to address the board that involve district officers or employees. If that person has not sought to do so through the dispute resolution channels established by policy, he or she will be referred to the applicable policy in order to do so before addressing the board of a future meeting. Complaints and concerns of employees are covered by policy DGBA. Those of students or parents are covered by policy F&G, and those of general public are covered by policy GF. This public comment period is not intended for the presentation of complaints. The board will only consider complaints that remain unresolved after they have been addressed through proper administrative channels and when they have been placed on the agenda. In order to have your comments heard tonight, your name and the subject matter of your comments must appear on the sign-up sheet, which was located by the door where you came in. Profanity, yelling, inappropriate, uncivil, or discriminatory comments will not be permitted. Los Fresnos CISD Policy BED Local limits each speaker to 5 minutes to complete his or her comments. With all due courtesy, I will strictly enforce the time limit. Of course, by law, the Los Fresnos CISD Board of Trustees cannot lawfully discuss, deliberate, make comments, or make a decision on any matter raised in the public comment period which is not specifically listed on the board agenda for this meeting. For the purposes of the record, the board requests that a copy of the documents to which the speaker makes reference during the public comment period be provided to the board. With these cautions in mind, we will now be glad to hear the general comments. Now, ma'am, I had to read all of that. I'm sure, you know, that none of that
I'm
probably...
kind of scared now, but I will try my best.
Well, I didn't mean to scare you. I just had to read all of that. I'm sure none that does not apply to you. But you've got 5 minutes. And Mr. Castillo, can you help us with the time?
Thank you. I really appreciate that. An hour for me sometimes is very short.
Okay. Okay, Miss Patricia, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garza, members of the board, Mr. Salazar, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. I have no other papers with me because I'm here to speak from the heart. As you heard, my name is Patricia Valenzuela. Currently, I'm an educator and I'm a human development specialist. And currently, I'm also an independent consultant working not only for Los Fresnos as an independent consultant, but also for BISD and also for Harlingen CISD. I've been doing what I do, which is training especially parents for 26 years. And I've been so blessed of being doing this job all over South America, every and each state in Mexico, now here in the United States, and I've been presenting twice in Canada as well. So I've been around for quite some time. And it is so important for me to share with the board what I've been finding out after a little bit over 5 years that I've been presenting for parents here in Los Fresnos CISD. It is incredible for me. I've been presenting everywhere. Those big auditoriums in Ecuador, those wonderful scenarios in Colombia. But it's here, right here in this border room, where I found the most engaged and committed community of parents. You are so lucky. You are working very hard to put together a family engagement program that is oriented not only to fulfill every goal that they have to write on paper every single year, but they are committing with the human beings that are part of this community. These parents showed up here in each one of my presentations, filling this whole room. We also have to put some extra chairs on the side because this is the place where they can open their hearts. And that's something that you, as a presenter, don't find everywhere. You have parents that are here to listen. But here in Los Fresnos, you have parents that are committed to offer a better family environment to their kids, for you to have mental healthy kids in your schools. My English is not perfect. I'm trying my best here, but I'm really willing to share the feelings that are all over this room on each one of our presentations. They are willing to commit, to listen, to be open to the point where they share their most difficult situations, the most difficult memories that they have from all the struggles that they have as single parents, doing whatever they have to do to put in your classroom a healthy kid. I was so emotional in our last presentation that I told the parents, I have to share with the board what's going on here in Los Fresnos. As we say in Mexico, tienen un garbanzo de a libra. You have a big treasure with this community of parents, but the most important part is that they have an office that they can attend to. They are being offering them the best programs, not only with me, but with all the presenters that they have in the events, in every single thing that Ms. Amaro, Ms. Medina are willing to put together for them. We got to the point that if I do present in Harlingen or in BISD, they are just following us. Yes, sir. My time is over? Oh, I'm sorry. So wrapping it up, I have to say that you have what every single school district is willing to have in their cities, in their areas. Parents that are engaged, a program that is committed to the human part, not only the goals and the administrative stuff, but to attend the human necessities of their community,
And I really wanted you to know that this is happening here in Los Fresnos. I am so proud and so honored to be just a tiny little bit of part of this school district. And I'm so honored to be able to be working with Ms. Amaro and Ms. Medina whenever they have the time to call me and invite me to present. I just wanted to share. I told the parents I will share with you that they are doing their part. And as a last note, I just wanted to tell you, as an educator, I know that sometimes you go to sleep thinking, did I touch someone's life today? Did I did something good after so many problems we hear on a daily basis? I'm here to tell you that tonight, the answer is yes. You're doing it, and you're doing it very well.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for those kind words. We usually don't have those type of kind words on public comments and public audience, but we appreciate it and we will take it to heart. Moving on to item 8, public comment. We did not have anybody sign up for a public comment. Item 9, district reports. Dr. Salazar.
Mr. Garza, members of the board, we present to you the monthly reports that we bring to you. First, our financial report. I do want to highlight that we have looked over our expenditure report, and percentage-wise, we're exactly where we need to be. We are convinced that we will see a return on investment as we spend down the funds we have budgeted for instruction and interventions. Very excited about where we are. So does anyone have any questions about any of the reports at this time?
Questions? No, sir.
If not, we can move on to report number 2, which is the 2020 summer school programs. We wanted to make sure that to touch on some highlights, some of the new programs that we'll be adding this summer. And for that, I'll call on Mrs. Laundrie. Mrs. Laundrie, will you share highlights of our 2020 summer school program?
Yes, sir. Our 2020 summer school program will be hosted once again. Our secondary programs will be hosted at Los Fresnos United. We will also be hosting our elementary a little different this year. We are actually going to try to lower our class size ratios for summer school. We know that our program is intended to bridge the gap between the grade levels when students are just barely passing to the next grade level. We know that they need a little support over the summer so that they don't experience what we call the summer slide, where they fall back a little bit. So we offer that program to students who pass the grade level around between 70 and 75% mastery. And we offer that program, and we know that a better resource for them during the summer would be to have lower class, not a full class size of 22 to 1. We're looking at more 12, 15 to 1. And so in order for us to be able to do that, we do need to split the campuses. So we will be having elementary summer school at 2 locations this year. This is that we will be doing that. And so Laureles Elementary will host summer school for Las Yescas, Laureles, and Palmer-Loxaw Elementaries. And then Los Fresnos Elementary will host it for the remaining 6 campuses. And that will allow us to lower the class size and invite more at-risk students to the summer school program. Also, we'll be hosting all of our normal activities such as Gifted and Talented, programs to help students prepare for ACT, SAT. We will also be offering the Summer Bridge for our accelerated math programs, as well as for our algebra students in middle school, and all of that will be taking place at Los Cuates Middle School. Other than that, we do have an exciting new program that we're going to be doing at some of our campuses, and I'm going to let Mrs. Amato speak to that.
Laundrie. An exciting initiative for this coming school year is called the Jumpstart Program, and it's a program that we're going to offer at Las Yescas, Laureles, and PLE. Just like the title says, Jumpstart, we're accelerating the beginning of the year for students, offering them a hands-on program, project-based, fun, interactive, engaging program for students to start the school year. This will be from July 13th to the 30th. It's a 12-day program, bringing students back to school and getting them excited and ready to go. And again, solely at those three campuses, Laureles, PLE, and Las Yescas.
Sure, at this time, if anyone has any question about summer programs, we would entertain those.
Ms. Garcia.
On the Jump Start program, is the goal to, if it's successful, to maybe in the future have it for all the campuses, or?
We want to pilot it. The last legislature allows us to have an early start. We don't necessarily like the way that it was set up in legislation, but we are able, with our state compensatory funds, to have a startup program. But rather than go district-wide, we'd like to start at these campuses.
Any other questions? Mr. Trevino?
With the Jump Start, what areas are we going to be covering with the students? Learning areas. Is it going to be the English? Is it going to be math or science?
We begin with our early childhood, and like pre-K, we want to get those butterflies out and get school readiness skills, get kids to get oriented to the campuses. But also we have some hot spots that we identify over the summer based on performance, and so it's great to bring kids back in early. Mrs. Laundrie and Mrs. Amato, would you like to speak to other goals that we've set for Jump Start?
So we're also planning and developing a curriculum thematic based into covering all different content areas in a project based and fun, but doing mostly a lot of academics and also the linguistic part of our students in developing the English language as well.
Ms. Quintero?
What will be the times on this program, and would they be providing school buses, transportation?
So we're looking at 8 o'clock to 2, 8 in the morning to 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. They were providing lunch, breakfast, and transportation to our students. And just to add, it's only Monday to Thursday.
And that's really important because for many kids without transportation, they can't access the quality programs that we plan to provide. So, good question. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, moving on to item 10, consent agenda. We have 3 items for consent agenda using the same protocol we've used. If anybody wishes to pull an item at this time, please do so for discussion. If not, I will entertain a motion for consent agenda items 1 through 3 as presented. Is there a motion? Mr. Castillo.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve consent agenda items 1 through 3 as written.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Ms. Garcia, second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes unanimous. Moving to item 11, action item. Number 1, discuss and take action to approve projects to be considered for construction and renovation with the $63 million bond issue funds. Is there a motion? Mr. Farias.
To take action and approve the projects and to be considered for construction and renovation with the use of $63 million bond issue funds.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Mr. Amaya, second. Motion and a second. Discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes 7-0, unanimous. Item 2. Discuss and take action to approve an order of the Board of Trustees of Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District calling an election to seek voter approval for the issuance of unlimited tax bonds for the construction and equipping of school buildings and the purchase of sites thereof. Is there a motion? Ms. Garcia.
Mr. Garza, I move to approve the order of the Board of Directors of the Board of Trustees of Los Fresnos Consolidated Independent School District, calling for their election to seek voter approval for the issuance of unlimited tax bonds for construction and equipping of the school buildings and the purchase of the sites thereof.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Mr. Trevino. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. 7-0 unanimous. Passes. Item 3. Discuss and take action to approve contract for election services with Cameron County for the May 2nd, 2020 bond election. I will entertain a motion at this time. Mr. Castillo.
Mr. President, make action to approve contract for election services with Cameron County for the May 2nd, 2020 bond election.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Mr. Farias. We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Having no discussion, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve contract of election services with Cameron County for the 2020 bond election. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes unanimous. Item 4. Discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2019-2020 school year. A. Teachers. B. Registered nurses. Is there a motion? Ms. Garcia.
Mr. Garza, I move to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the 2019-2020 school year for the teacher and registered nurse listed.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Ms. Quintero. Motion and a second. Discussion. No discussion. We have a motion and a second to approve superintendent's personnel recommendation. All those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes unanimous 7-0. This time we will go into closed session. They always browbeat me all the time. They're always harassing me. Would you please stand up if you're here so we can welcome you? Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're going to enjoy Los Fresnos. Thank you. Okay. This time we're going to go into closed session. Pursuant to 551 of the Texas Government Code, we're going to discuss superintendent's contract. So it is 6:50. Is that right? 6:50. It's 7:14 and we're back into open session. Going to item 2, discuss and take possible action to the superintendent's contract. Ms. Garcia.
Mr. Garza, I move to approve the superintendent's contract as discussed in executive session.
Ms. Elizabeth, is that good? Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second? Ms. Quintero, motion and a second on the floor. Discussion. With no discussion, all those in favor indicate by raising your hand, please. Motion passes unanimous. We're at announcements.
Mr. Garza, members of the board, on Sunday, February 14th through the 16th, Friday through Sunday, February 14th through the 16th is our students will be participating in the 31st annual Los Fresnos PRCA Rodeo and Livestock Show. Saturday, February 15th at 9:30, we have the rodeo parade, and all of our campuses will be represented. Monday, February 17th is we suspend operations. It is President's Day, but our schools will be closed. Friday, February 28th is a Teacher Professional Learning Day. No classes for students on that day. And on Monday, March 9th...
Somebody needs a little clarification over there. Mr. Farias needs...
Yes, sir. For the 28th, Friday the 28th? Monday, February 17th, no classes. That's the Monday after rodeo. And the 28th is a Professional Learning Day for teachers. There is some learning. And then Monday, March 9th, 6 p.m., regular school board meeting.
Our meetings are starting to get out of control, please. Don't we have a meeting on February the 25th? Or some presentation?
Yes.
Not a meeting, presentation.
Yes, the college board will be in Los Fresnos to make a big announcement on February 25th, 10 a.m. We will remind you again, invitations will go out to VIPs tomorrow. It's on Tuesday now. It was on the 26th. It's going to be held on the 25th at 10 a.m.
Library.
Yes, please plan 10 through 1 o'clock, please.
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca. You can only make it to the ceremony. Actually, yes, we're going to meet in the gym for the ceremony and celebration, and then we'll have a luncheon right out. It's not going to be in the library, right outside the cafeteria.
Good thing you said that, because Ms. Garcia said, are we going to get a feed or something like that if we come? So all right. Anybody else have any announcements? Good. We're adjourned.